Welcome back to Smile Jamaica. Black expats and repats in Jamaica, called Burge, was created to serve as a resource for helping expatriates and returnees relocate to Jamaica. Now, to talk to us about their mission are Clarice Norton, founder of Burge, and Kwame McPherson, admin team member of Burge. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning. Now, explain to us, what is Burge? I mean, I kind of said it in the title and in the introduction, but explain to us how this all came together.
Okay, so Black Expats and Repats in Jamaica was essentially established to help those of the Black diaspora relocate or return to Jamaica. So that's its foundation. So it came about because I decided to move to Jamaica for a lot of reasons. So I figured there were probably more people such as myself, and I wanted to kind of create a space for people to establish community and just kind of have some familiarity with each other. As you know, well, a lot of people know relocating to anywhere kind of requires a support system. So that is the initial foundings of Black Expats and Repats in Jamaica, and that's how it came about.
Clarice, many people are looking to leave Jamaica. You decided you wanted to come and stay here, and you're looking to help other people come and stay. I find it interesting. Tell me why. Because it has a lot to do with how you felt where you were and some of the issues you were facing where you were in the land that people think is a greener pasture. So talk to us about that.
So I came to understand that there is kind of this oxymoron with what to move with Jamaica. But again, for those such as myself who are born and bred and raised in the United States, especially where I'm from, but in particular, well, anywhere in the U.S., but I'm from the rural South. I'm from Mississippi. So race has a lot to do with existing in America. That's kind of just what it is. I really don't... It's a lot to try and convince somebody otherwise who don't just, inherently have that experience and understanding. So I a lot of us have toyed with the idea of leaving. Most of us, will consider Africa. That's kind of like first choice. Or some people go to other European nations, or they go to Mexico or somewhere as a sort. But though Africa is kind of like the first choice for us, who don't come from a vast amount of wealth or something of the sort. It's just too far-fetched, or it's too out of the way, and it's too expensive to get to. It's too far, it's very far from those you still have familiar ties and connections with. So Jamaica made sense in that regard because, for me, I wanted to be in a predominantly Black country. That was kind of just that's what it was. I didn't have all those other things that I needed. I just wanted to be out of that existence.
Yeah.
And so that's why I decided on Jamaica. And it's, has English speaking, it's English speaking. And, you want a different sense of existence. So that's why I decided on Jamaica. And I know again, it's an oxymoron. People look at you crazy. But for those of us who want a different way of life and don't want to, have been trying to figure out how to get out, but Jamaica is just more realistic for those who want to leave.
Yeah.
So what has that process been like, though? Relocating.
Make we bring in Kwame.
Yeah, Kwame, I want to put this one to you because, and especially if you don't have Jamaican roots here, you don't have no parents who are Jamaican, you've never been to Jamaica before, coming here now to live, what has that process been like, to set
Kwame, have some familiarity, but man.
Kwame, sound like him?
Yeah.
Mr. UK.
Here.
I came, I was born in the UK, but I came back to Jamaica when
we're near 7.
My brother here, and so my life has been Jamaican really. Primary school at the time, went to Calabar High, I worked at Caribbean Bridal. So my journey has been different in regards to being the Jamaican, because a lot of people had returned with their children, British-born children, to Jamaica back in the 70s and 80s. and I was one of those. So the thing for me was that, and then I left to go back to the UK to finish up my education, which I did in the end. The beautiful thing is, when I decided to come, I actually moved to North America, funny enough, to live for a period of my life, and then I went back to the UK and then decided to come home. But my intention was always to come back home. So that was the right question for me. The journey, the coming to being a part of Burge, so happened. It does happen by coincidence, really, in a sense. So it was divine, if some people want to call it that. But what I realized, what we realized as being diasporans, is that there are many. In terms of Jamaica diaspora, we know like we have Jamaican descendants, but there are those who are from the diaspora who have no connection to Jamaica, and the process is harder for them in regards to coming to Jamaica, and they have to get 3 months, and then they have to get an extension, and then and then there's particular ways which Clarice can clarify. A number of ways where they can actually become a resident and then a citizen. But the process is longer and harder for those who don't have a connection. But what we found within our own group is that majority of people who want to come to Jamaica to live come from North America, funny enough. And the trickle comes from the UK. But a lot of them come from North America because they're looking for a place to get peace. And funny enough, many of them will say that Jamaica offers that.
That's interesting. Because, we're just talking, Debbie, about our homicide rate and crime and all the things that plague us. You kind of have to wonder, I guess we see through a particular prism because we live here.
Yeah.
But that's not a concern for folks who are looking to come to relocate?
So,
yes, Clary.
So it's hard for me to, because I grew up in America and I've seen and experienced and the centuries of violence occur on people solely because of their skin color, but among other things. And it's just like, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the comparison. And this is not because I don't want to feel like I'm dismissing these and occurring to Jamaica, but it's like I have a hard time for people who live in places like Florida and New York and Atlanta. It just, like how are you? I feel like it's really like a false sense of security, and I understand how the U.S. is marketed and how people interpret it, but it's like no, the U.S. can't be one of the most violent places to exist. So I kind of I'm still trying to understand that logic, but I get it. But it's not, I would say for me, I feel much more safer being here than I do over there. And again,
wow.
I know it's
perspective is, I think.
Wow. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
It is. I was gonna ask Clarice if, you come here and you depend on our dollar, or is it that you just come with your job, but you can actually work out of Jamaica?
You're online teaching.
Yeah.
Teaching English online. Right, Clarice?
Right?
So, when I first came, before Corona came, I had started, again, I had been toying with the idea of, been wanting to leave for a long time. So I kind of just started that process. I was like, okay, first thing I'm probably going to have to do is learn how to generate income without physically being somewhere. So I started, I got a part-time job teaching English online to Chinese students. And so that was kind of like my first experience, just completely working online, being location independent. And luckily enough, it was one of those jobs that didn't require me to be in the U.S. because I think they're based in a different country as well. So they're not necessarily based in the U.S. So I had the freedom to move about. And then I did that. It kept me afloat. Was not a lot of income at all, but for me, it was just a matter of not making sure that I wasn't homeless or starving.
Yeah. Clarice, I have to jump in because we have to go to news, but I find this discussion fascinating. I wish we had more time. 2,000 Burge members, 30 new requests received per week, 65% of the group's membership, although they have no interest to here, want to make Jamaica their home. 25% of the group living permanently, 25 doing long stretches, while the other 50% are looking to make a living here permanently. Fascinating stuff. Kwame, we find more information on Burge at burgejamaica.com, so?
That's correct. That's very
All right, okay, we have to go because we have news. I'm so sorry, I don't mean to rush you guys, but thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, perspective.
Very
then.
interesting.
Perspective,
My God.
perspective. Paris Norton, founder of Burge, and Kwame McPherson, admin team member with the same organization. News in 5 is next.